hill. Through all the return roads and stuff during comp, getting out to grid, don't be crazy on the racetrack. Obviously, everybody can see you, so don't be dumb. Your lap counts in the chase if you get in outer zone 3. If you leave the back of the burnout box, it'll be a 5 like normal. If your crew people put hands on the car, it'll be a 5 as well. So just communicate with us. And finally, if you drop tire here, you're gonna dig a hole, and eventually you're gonna pull the tire off the wheel, and because you left the racetrack, you're not gonna get a tire. Is that clear? Any questions for me?
Get into outer zone 3 or get through outer zone 3?
I mean, like settle the car in 3 and drive, you know.
That's traditionally where people will blow off track. So if the lead driver gets a tire into zone 3 and
I would say through 3 then, yeah. Through 3, I'll count it. Rome.
DV after the finish line on the rumble strip to start farther down. Because last year I think there was a weird call with like one car chasing like pushing the other car off and moved over not to hit him. DV did a right rear tire, weren't able to put the tire on, so we lost the finals. That was close event, but still a safe conversation.
I don't recall that. I know in the other zones the rumble strips are off track now. So I'm just gonna go with that. The rumble is off track.
No,
Past finish, yeah. You mean like way past, or? Yeah, that's an hour and a half past finish. I mean, shut it down. Any more questions?
All right, good morning. All right, here's the schedules, same as in the driver's packet that was sent out to you guys. Did a track walk after this meeting. You can immediately go out there if you want. From there, we have prospect practice from 8:45 to 10, and then you guys go on track at 10:15. All right, here's the map. All of y'all hopefully have seen this by now. Any questions regarding this at the moment? All right, we'll go through, yep. Yes, yep. So you'll initiate, lead driver must perform a weight transfer, initiate no later than 1 marker with no more than 2 moves and back on throttle quickly with minimal e-brake. So we've got a bubble here. The only thing difference is we painted the 3, 2, 1 lines in this area. I got the picture before it, so I apologize for that. But roughly they'll go across at the start, the middle, and the end of this thing. So the lead car will go left, and then come back across track right. Chase car has the option to follow them, or they can just go straight through that. But as a lead car, we want you to treat this arc as a wall, so don't put a tire in it, or it'll be incomplete. So just stay away from the bubble. But chase cars can go right through it if you want, or you can chase the lead driver around the bubble. Does everyone understand that? Yes?
It's hard to tell, like, based on, like, I don't know what the start line is for a session. Do you think it's going to be an issue with, like, the additional moves happening to get around that, or no?
I don't think so. Kevin and them were here testing, I think, after Seattle, and everyone seemed to kind of be fine with that, doing it that way. I don't think they had it painted at the time, but they were treating it like that. And we're just trying to give it, one, to make it so that the chase guy has an option to do it, but also give them room so they're not getting boxed out if the lead driver just kind of cuts them off. So we're just trying to help give you guys a little bit more room in the chase position. So we can watch practice and see, but in theory, this should keep you wide because you're going to come out of the chicane and then go wide and then come back across, and they can just go right into it. We didn't get a chance to really try it at Seattle because it was kind of last minute, so we're hoping that this works here.
So you're trying to have the lead driver doesn't cut the chase driver off?
Yeah, just,
Okay.
but I mean, also and give you more room to make a more dynamic flip. I mean, if you want to go yank the e-brake for 150, 200 feet, you can do it if this wasn't here, but that just gets stale after a while. So does it not look a little bit more dynamic if you're swinging back across in the lead?
Well, I think if the point was to not have the lead driver cut the chase driver off, this actually does
It's just
the
one of the
opposite.
things. It's not like the exact reason. It's also more exciting, like just changing things up every once in a while. But yeah, the overall layout is very similar to kind of what we did, I think, in 22. So the only main addition is we bumped the inner clip a little bit off and we added this bubble here.
Yep.
Otherwise, the rest of the outer zones and
Yeah.
everything are just going to be minor adjustments from what the previous lines were.
Well, I think those are pretty obvious, and they're done for a good reason. This is just a lot to unpack here.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's essentially what you guys were doing in Atlanta. You guys were all doing it in Atlanta. You guys were going over to the left, going to the right. We did it illustrated there, but here we're illustrating. But you guys, for the most part, you guys were all left, right, getting to outside zone 1, then getting into the inner clip. And that's literally what we're doing here.
Are you guys like requiring tire square boots, or can you just drive to the left and
You just got to be drifting by the 1 line. So we'll have 3. I think the 1 line's close to the end of the bubble. So if you want to go wide and drive and then just pitch it in that way, you still have that option to do it. But if you want to do it earlier, then you can kick it and do it. I think Hobson was next.
I'm down with the ass flip ass initiation, I think it's sick. But I also think it's kind of weird that all of a sudden the lead driver initiation. You always, as a lead driver, you have the right of way. Whatever you do, the chase driver has to follow you. So I just think I'm down with it. I'll flick it. I don't care. I just think it's kind of like a lot of people don't do big flick initiations, and this is kind of causing them to come out and swoop in. I think it's going to be a little bit awkward. I'm down with it, but I think it's kind of weird for y'all to say, lead driver, you have to initiate this way after 20 plus years of the lead driver gets to do whatever they want. As long as you initiate by the way.
Okay. Did the driver liaisons or anything go over any of you guys with this beforehand, or?
No. I mean,
No?
No, that was definitely not clear.
I saw this on a fan Facebook page.
I was like, that is the same map I sent to you guys.
But there was no, you never had a run.
The text right there tells you how it enters on the thing.
Yeah, like a weight transfer could be a small flip, but that's like dramatic. Like,
Does that one not say past the middle of the course? It's written right there. We're very visual people.
All right, can we agree to try it during practice, see how it works, and if it ends up being a complete mess, then we can reassess?
This is our fear zone. We've said that before. Anytime there's a change in the track, that gets said. We're up for the change, but then it gets told to us, well, Prospect ran it, we gotta leave. Yeah. Well, you guys ran it, we gotta leave.
But we've also in the past changed things for you guys where you need it and then it ended up not needing to be changed and stuff like that.
Sure.
So we've gone both ways, I feel like. It's pretty fair to assess, not always.
If we do that, can we just like communicate, like if midway through practice, it's clear as day it's not working, communicate to us whether you have someone walk up to the cars, put it in Discord or whatever. That way the second half of practice isn't wasted and then we find out afterwards. Like let's make a decision not too late.
Yeah, I mean, we can watch Prospect and see if they can do it. I mean, technically they're going to be in, ideally, less horsepower cars than you guys, so it should be harder for them, if anything, than for you guys, I would think, correct? So if like none of them can do it during practice, then we would have our answer pretty quickly, I would assume. Dean?
would you rather see lead car?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I think the conclusion is that we're still starting to lead car going, which is very stupid for this layout. Like I'm trying to think because the Seattle the lead and the trace the other way around, then this works. But having the lead car start going the way I expect it to go over the opposite side of the track at the beginning, or then causing the chase to come out of the chase car before the initiation, not after the initiation. The only way this kind of works is if you start the track left and go through the chicane that way, and then that way you're already out of the way of the chase car, and the chase car kind of running mid straight down the road.
Just try it.
That's the way that works.
We have time to flip that. Okay. Can't, okay. Yeah, like flip it. It means like flip the whole chicane. Yeah. So that you go out of the box that way, not. Yeah. So, knowing that. Okay. All right. All right. No, I can't change that at this point, unfortunately. Okay. Dean.
So, lead car, would you prefer to see the lead car to like when in the middle of the bubble do an actual drift to the right before transitioning back left, or kind of like what we did last year where it's kind of just driving the bubble and then initiating back
Technically, I think the last line is towards the end of the bubble, so you could drive if you wanted to and then come across and flick it. But it's just still keeping you out wide where you'd have to throw it back across the track. So you just basically have to initiate by the one line, or the one cone.
In the direction of the corner.
Correct, yes. Castro.
Can you go back to the map? The start line, he says, is the green. It's not there right now. Right now it's a little closer to the outside zone, number one fan. That's a lot of actions. It's such a short time period that something is not right, especially with the driver. You're gonna, the chase driver, you're gonna either hit it or use the ability to chase it. So it's another variable that we have to talk about.
Okay.
The reason we decided to make the run-up a little bit shorter, so you know, is because before when we would see people speed up, there was a lot of variances of coasting. So someone initiated, there was an accordion effect that was going on. Doing it this way, it means you guys have to commit, load up your cars, and go. All right, when it comes to the line that we're dealing with here, I say let's test it out, see how it goes. It's one line. If it doesn't work, we can go out there, paint it black, and then we're good. We'll try to do that early, so then this way you guys can have your bearings straight before the end of practice. So let's just try it out. You guys have all initiated in that fashion. We just thought putting that line would be a good illustration. That's where we were coming from. But if that illustration ends up becoming an issue, we can easily just paint it black again, and you're gonna literally have the track before we decided to go over the rumble strip. The only thing difference is the run-up is short. But the reason the run-up is shorter is because everybody will pick up speed, and we're having these crazy accordion effects. Someone will get on throttle, the rhythm would be wrong, and then that guy would be off. This would be preventing that to keep it a little bit closer and promote better tandems. So I'd say let's just try it, and if it doesn't work, we can quickly adapt, and I think we should be good. Good? Awesome. All right, where were we at? Interclip one?
Yes.
On the Buffalo 28, tire over the white line, bad.
Yeah, incomplete.
Tire on the line.
Still bad. Assume the white line is a wall.
Right.
So, yeah, just don't
Tire
touch-
on the line, otherwise incomplete.
Yes.
Is that going into the rule book for this round, or how do we
I mean,
police that other than we just say?
We're gonna,
look,
it's in the Sound Drivers meeting, this is
now, is there
recorded,
gonna
we'll
be
have it as
a
law.
special camera or a camera that you guys can
I
clearly see
mean,
down the
we
line?
watch the start line and we have multiple cameras. We have the FPV drone, we have the regular static shot, or the anchored shots on the ground, and then we also have the overhead. So,
We feel
sure,
like we got coverage for it?
I would think so. We usually have start line to the finish line, so we should be good there. Between all those cameras, I think we're pretty good on that.
I think you guys.
Yes. Yes. I mean, who here drove during practice? Did you guys have it? Dan?
We didn't even come close to that. We did pay transfer initiation.
Okay.
Or like track mid, or like, you know, like we never went full track left and then started like weight transfer. That's an exaggerated move.
Okay.
That's why we're all like, what the heck?
Okay.
How did you ran this though when the track was right?
Yeah. Alan Rose did a couple that was like, you know, lead chase, good chase.
You guys did
And then I
the
watched, after I saw what you guys wrote, I rewatched our in-car and stuff, and like, we're majority track right, but we do a weight transfer, but it's only like halfway through the car. You're wanting us to go track left, and swoop way over, and we're also upshifting during that time to gain speed, it's a lot going on,
Mhm.
it's a small amount of, I'm sure we'll do it, but it's not, the flow is not what you think it would be, or at least that's what we're all, that's why we're concerned about.
Okay.
We gotta try it, I guess, but.
Okay. Hobson?
So just to go back on that, what Matt said about the tire on it, obviously, what about bumper?
Bumper's fine. Just worry about tire. Yeah. Yeah. No, you're fine. We'll go by tire. All right. Then you're going to come into outer zone 3. Again, rumble strip is tire off, so just get to the edge of it. After you go past this, you're going to come across and do inner clip 1. Left front tire in the box, ideally in the center. You can see where the old one was from a couple years ago. We just bumped it out and give you more room. That should still give plenty of clearance even for the chase car to not hit the clipping point. So you have plenty of room through there to get in the pocket. Then you're going to go all the way across the track and come into outer zone 2. You can see where part of the old one actually still went into the zone. We just kind of shortened it a little bit more, but give you that spot. Stay off the rumble strip for the ideal run. You're going to go through this transition, and then if you need to have a slight decel from doing the transition, just make sure it's after you've actually transitioned the car, but we want you to get back on throttle as quickly as possible when you get into outer zone 3. So be back on the gas in the zone. There is a white line that you can see the zone painted all the way around the edge of the track as it's done in previous years, but be mindful that as practice goes along, that line will probably start to disappear. Also, as you approach this outer zone, there are 3-2-1 cones on the driver's left to designate where that zone is to kind of give you a visual reference in case you get stuck in the smoke. So just be aware of that. We'll also pay attention and take into consideration, similar to Seattle and the Power Alley, that if the lead car doesn't get all the way out to outer zone 2, and runs the middle of the line and then transition, that the chase car will be in a cloud of smoke through that area. Yes, Rome?
Is the white line on the track still, or is it off the track?
No, it's on the track. Yeah, if it was off, that gravel would go away quick. So yeah, this is painted on the edge of the tracks, so that's literally track edge. Yep. And, yep, and just a reminder again, please light off and get on the gas in outer zone 3. Yes?
Just the photo being deceiving, or is that zone wider than the zone before it?
Oh, it's wider, and the last one's smaller.
That's the, as wide as the Southwest last year. Those
Okay.
cars on the other side are from, I don't know, us previous years or different.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you put the car in it, it'd put both tires in it. Whereas in this one, it's tough to get to it because that's a tire on it, and you can see that edge. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, if he's in it, then it's gonna be right on the edge. Yeah, it probably should have been where this line is, but we'll see. I mean, we don't even look at the front of that. We look at where you are to the edge of the track, so we're basing it off that left rear tire anyway when we watch that stuff. So we'll be aware of it. It might just be a little bit deceiving for the fans if they're not paying attention to that. If you go all the way through that far outer zone, you'll get to here. There's the end of the zone. Then we'll need you to transition back over to driver's side or right. And then when you do that again, if you need to decel, do it after you transition. Just try not to make it abrupt. That'll set you up for outer zone 4. This one is a little bit different if you haven't driven here because you have the access road that comes off at the start of the zone. Also be careful for dirt drops, digging them out there at the start of the rumble strip so you don't hit wheels on that. But as you get in the zone, you'll have the start of the rumble strip, it'll go to the access road, and then the rumble strip will pick back up about a third of the way into it, and it'll run completely to the finish line where the rumble strip kind of drops off another 2/3 of the way around the course, and then ends up with just the edge of the track again. Yes?
At the start of that zone, can we add like 2 or 3 bright cones to the right side of that clip? You want to go back one photo? When you're coming in,
Yeah.
Okay, can we add some more cones in the beginning of outside zone 4 behind that quick cone so we can have a better visual?
3-2-1's going into outer zone 3 and 3-2-1's going into outer zone 4.
there's something that's not the same color as the sign on it.
Okay, gotcha.
At the end of the zone or the beginning of the zone?
I think he's saying because it blends in with the race treads. Yeah, because it blends in right next to the left of the the signs. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we can do that for you guys. All right. Yes.
I think we need to have a conversation about lighting off. We should just kind of casually throw it in there, but I think that it's way more important than maybe you guys think. You want us to light off at the zone, before the zone. These moments of light off are how we time our transition, how we trust the lead driver here. I think a lot of people don't light off when you guys say that we need to light off. And then the caveat to that is, what is lighting off? Just kicking up the throttle and keeping you to the floor, or pedaling into the zone? I think if you pedal, that's not lighting off.
Correct.
If you're pedaling, in my opinion, you're actually continuing to decel. Lighting off, you touch the handbrake, you pick up the throttle, and you leave it to the floor until your next adjustment is made. If you're immediately picking up the throttle and immediately making an adjustment, you're not lighting off. That's not picking up the throttle. So I would like to break this down with you guys and make sure we're all on the same page here, because the transition from outer zone 2 to outer zone 3 is completely blind Is that guy lighting off? Is he pedaling or is he not on the front? There's three different things here. There's not on or off.
Okay. We're planning to, when you guys run practice, pull the data for that area just to make sure if there are any details on the track anyway in general. So we will look at that kind of stuff to make sure if there is a hard detail or anything that where you guys are like late to get on the gas after the transition. So that at least will give us some type of data in that area. In regards to watching it, I mean, ideally, we would want you to transition and possibly light off and get back on throttle as quickly as possible, just like you would at initiation. Is kind of how we're looking at it. Almost like it's a re-initiation is how I would treat it. Where I want you to get back on throttle as quickly as possible so you can make it and power through that entire long outer zone. But yeah, I agree, like if you're just gently getting on the gas and cruising through there, that's probably not ideal for what we were looking for.
You gotta remember too, it's the moment, right? Obviously, no one's pedaling it through the entire zone. There's a split-second decision that you need to make. Is my tire on the track or is it not? And if it's not gonna be on the track, that's where you see the pedal, because somebody trying to keep it on track.
Yeah, I think what
It's hard to tell.
I think what you're asking for is, and maybe we should say it, is we want you to light off but commit. Like get on and then you're committed on and you're on it for a good portion, accelerating it through the beginning of that zone. I understand there's going to maybe some variances and some adjustments, but what you're asking for is light off, quick adjustment, light off again, and that throws off the flow of the beginning of the zone. So we can all sit here and agree on that when we mean light off in the beginning of, especially specifically outside zone 3, because that's where I've always seen the errors, right? As soon as you guys get into that zone, we need to light off and commit lighting off. If you commit and it messes up and you have to make some sort of change, then that's on the lead because they didn't calculate that correctly, right? So I think what you're asking for is we need you to light off and we need you to commit when you get into that zone, and then commit to whatever line you decided to go with when you guys light off. Is that a little bit more clear? All right, and we're going to, because we have, this is my first time here in Utah, but I have seen sometimes you guys will barrel into outside zone 3 with a lot of momentum, and then that momentum allows you to kind of fill up the zone a little bit, and then you guys decide to light off. The guy behind you doesn't know that, he's kind of waiting, then he gets left in the dust. And that's what this is going to try to prevent. So as soon as you get into that zone, and those back tires are in that zone, start lighting off and commit to what you decided to go with there. Sound good? Bodie.
We're staying off the rumble strip on this track because of threat of EV, or you guys just want to tighten up the track so we're kind of staying within the boundaries.
I think it's to stay the boundary point, right? And we have 3 tire would be the rule. Yeah.
Plus the fact that there is a level of ground every turn, so you've got a couple areas that have it, then others have dirt, so just to keep it uniform. If it was a rumble strip, maybe everywhere that went around track, we might give you a little bit of grace, but with this one where sometimes you have it, sometimes you have the rumble strip part of the turn, not the full turn, it's just easier to say not having it. So like outer zone 4, I think is prime example. You've got the rumble strip to start, then you lose it for the access road, then you pick it up again, and then you lose it again there. So it would be tough to try and keep it all the same and say how far off did you go that would be a rumble strip there if it actually was. So if we just say no rumble strip, it makes it a little easier. Anything else? Yes?
What's your guys' projection of being 2 tires off of the zone versus being like 2 tires inside of the zone? Is that equal, or is it worse to be 2 tires off? Because in my eyes, being 2 tires on the inside, as you're in the chase, you're going to get sloped out. It's supposed to be very hard to chase that driver because now you're getting sloped out going into the next zone. So in a way, it's almost easier for the chase driver, okay, with 2 tires off, because that kind of opens up the outside line. So what is your guys' like penalty being 2 tires off versus 2 tires in? Because I think zone 2 now, you used to 1, zone 2 had one of those.
Yeah, so his question is, if you drop 2 tires off on the outside of the track or you're inside about roughly the same distance, almost like a mirror, is the deduction the same or is it different? I kind of treat it like a mirror personally. I feel like if you're shallow and you go too far deep, you've done the same mistake. It's just, obviously like you said too, doing it inside is probably just as bad, if not worse, because you're leaving that person with smoke, especially going outer zone 2. You guys feel roughly the same? Yeah. Yeah.
We're talking about 2, just to clarify, right?
Yeah.
So I think what's going to be, what should be said is it's really important for you as the lead driver to get the inner clip correct because it sets you up for the 3. And I think we're all going to make sure what trajectory you take from the inner clip to outside zone 2. If you take that incorrectly or it's too on the inside, at that point we already know you're going to put the chase in a rough spot, and that's going to set off a domino effect depending how bad it is, which is going to be a judgment call based on us on what happens going into outside zone 3. So we are going to pay very close attention, like where did the lead put you? Because the reason we're so strict on the lead driver is because we want to see good chase. So if the lead messes up on the inner clip and then in turn messes up on outside zone 2 because he's so close, like we're seeing what's happening there. So we are going to pay attention to that. Now, if he goes wide, right, then I mean I would expect the chase driver to try to get over as much as possible to his own discretion at that point and set himself up going in for 3. But we are looking into the inner clip going into outside zone 2 because that's going to be a huge responsibility on the lead driver to make sure that they dictate that line correctly to give the space to the chase driver that he is allotted to make sure he has a good chase. Good? Yeah, I don't know if you agree or not. Okay, cool. I can see that.
So for me, that's going to be weighing more heavily. If you are on the inside of the track or dropping just one wheel over, it's going to be easier to chase.
So I think pretty much essentially to answer Jeff's question, it's going to be the bigger offense to be inside, and being outside is like, it's still a deduction, but it's not as bad as being inside.
For me, it is, yeah. But again, case by case. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it depends on the setup. Like if you did it in outer zone 1, I think it's different than doing it in outer zone 2. So like outer zone 2 definitely, like we talked earlier, affects when you make that transition across. So if you did it on outer zone 1, it's not going to be as big of a issue because you're still going to an inner clip after that, not a transition where the smoke line's going to change on you. So it'll vary based on, I guess, the zone for us. Someone else had a hand up?
So going back to that bubble for a second, the one cone. Can you keep an eye on that during practice if we do end up using that to make sure that it's not too early?
Okay.
It feels like you might be still arcing a little bit right.
Okay.
As you're passing one cone to get, not to have a big long handbrake drag all the way down. I feel like the one cone is a little bit later, it gives a chance to flip and get on power.
Okay.
So just keep an eye on that.
Okay. Reset, I'll go down to the start line and watch from there just to be right on it. I think Field, and then I'll get you. Go ahead.
Rumble strips, off course, in outer zone 1 as well?
Yeah, we'll just do it everywhere and make it even for everyone.
I don't know about that.
You got a picture of zone 1?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Can you paint the outside of that? Like,
Again, let's get through practice. See if every single person's doing it, then maybe we'll entertain. But I'm willing to bet some of you guys can do it without going off and make it look good.
It might just make your job a little difficult.
It might.
it'd be nicer if the rumble strips were different.
I would, but yes, I agree. Yes. Yes. You can only do 2 moves. So yeah, go to the left, then to the right. Don't go right, left, right. Room.
Do we have a camera for our spotters to be able to see that in practice?
I don't know what time they'll have everything set up. As per previous years, those of you that have been here before know that Sage usually brings his own drone and will lift it up. And then what usually everybody asks for is actually outer zone 3 because that's so far away to see how you guys are doing. He's getting a part for it, and then we should have the drone by roughly 10:30 set up. So I think that works for you guys because I don't think you go on until maybe 10:45, or even 10:15. But either way, I think we'll have it for your practice. So the spotters at least have that one set up.
It's really narrow down there.
All right, we'll watch ProSpec practice, and then we'll let your spotters know.
I think it's more if our spotters we could do anything you want us to do, but if our spotters can't tell us, hey, Cody, you're sinking your right wheel slightly on the rumble strip, and just tell me, like, back it up a foot, no problem, but they don't have the tools to do that.
Gotcha.
And you guys probably
Understood.
see it.
Yeah, we'll be right there with them, but yeah, I understand what you're getting at. Giovanni.
I think you guys got a lot to unpack on that first portion of the track. Since it's simulating Atlanta anyway, and we can use the rumble in Atlanta, I'd say just at least on one, just make the rumble strip race.
We'll watch the practice and you can see we don't have a back line painted there.
Yeah.
And we'll make a judgment call. We need to make a back line, which we know that it'll be a white line there.
Yep.
Obviously, you can see, so we're gonna watch practice. If we have to make an adjustment, we need to go in there and put a white line, be like, look, this is the end of this, and we'll go there. But just allow us the time to see how you guys are flowing. I think we have a good track. We may have to make some tweaks, but we'll try to do that early on so this way just comes to the flow down for you guys.
The goal of all the changes you guys made is for better tandem and to like bring it closer to the accordion effect. But I think one thing to keep in mind is just we're taking away track on zone one. We've moved the inner clip out, and then we've brought the next zone inward. So it's going to make us have to slow down a lot more than we have in previous years. So that could create some awkward scenarios. So it's just something to be mindful of versus if we are using that rumble strip and have a little bit more fire off earlier, keep that momentum and go towards the zone instead of having to slow down and awkwardly like do some weird stuff.
Yeah, we'll definitely watch it during the first practice session and then hopefully have everything settled before you guys go on and don't have to spend a bunch of track time. Any other questions? All right, good luck everyone.